Jehovah's Witnesses have a unique perspective on dating and marriage. They believe that dating is a step towards marriage and should be taken seriously. But one thing's for sure, it's a far cry from your typical rom-com. It's a love story with chaperones, strict rules, and a healthy dose of spiritual auditing. Hey there and welcome back to my channel. I am Robin Jackson, and if you enjoy my content, feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment or two if you would like to give us your insights and experiences. Jehovah's Witnesses have a unique perspective on dating and marriage. They believe that dating is a step towards marriage and should be taken seriously. According to them, marriage is a permanent union. Dating is only for those old enough for marriage. Such ones are past the bloom of youth or have passed the peak surge of sexual desire. This means that dating is only allowed for those who are ready for marriage and have the intention of getting married. First things first, dating ain't for fun in JW land. No casual coffee dates or flirty texts here. Dating in JW land is like prepping for the spiritual Olympics. You got to be past the bloom of youth or have passed that peak surge of sexual desire and spiritually strong enough to handle being yoked to another imperfect human for forever. And yes, forever is the key word. Divorce? Nah. Unless your partner commits the cardinal sin of adultery. Even abuse, be it physical or emotional, is no grounds for divorce. They also believe that dating should only be done with someone who shares their beliefs and practices as a baptized witness. This is because they believe that marrying someone who is not a Jehovah's Witness can lead to spiritual conflict and can cause them to stray from their faith. They also believe that children should obey their parents' decisions about dating, including the age at which they can begin dating and what activities are allowed. Let's look at the quotes from their own website stating these rules. The article on jw.org says, do Jehovah's Witnesses have rules about dating? Jehovah's Witnesses believe that the principles and commands found in the Bible can help us to make decisions that both please God and benefit us. We did not create these principles and commands, but we do live by them. Consider how some of these relate to the subject of dating. And then it goes on to state a few of those. It says, marriage is a permanent union. Because Jehovah's Witnesses consider dating to be a step toward marriage, we view it seriously. Dating is only for those old enough for marriage. Such ones are past the bloom of youth or have passed the peak surge of sexual desire. The next rule says, those who date should be free to marry. Some people who are legally divorced are not viewed by God as being free to remarry, since His standard is that the only valid basis for divorce is sexual immorality. Christians who want to marry are commanded to choose only a fellow believer. Jehovah's Witnesses view this command as referring not merely to a person who respects our beliefs, but to one who shares and practices those beliefs as a baptized witness. God has always directed His worshippers to marry only those of the same faith. This command is also practical, as modern researchers have found. Children should obey their parents. For children living at home, this command includes obeying their parents' decision about dating. These might include the age at which a son or a daughter could begin dating and what activities would be allowed. Within the scriptural guidelines, witnesses personally choose whether to date and whom to date. This is in harmony with the principle, each one will carry his own load of responsibility. Still, when it comes to dating, many wisely seek the advice of mature witnesses who have their best interests at heart. There are a few more rules in the article which you can look up for further reading. However, some people have criticized Jehovah's Witnesses for their views on dating and marriage. Some have called their views puritanical and abnormal. Others have accused the organization of having unhealthy control over its young members who are at dating age. They argue that the organization's strict rules and regulations can lead to feelings of guilt and shame among young people who are dating. There have also been accusations of contradictions in the organization's doctrine. For example, while Jehovah's Witnesses believe that dating should only be done with someone who shares their beliefs, they also believe that those who are legally divorced are not viewed by God as being free to remarry, unless the divorce was due to sexual immorality. This can make it difficult for divorced Jehovah's Witnesses to find a partner who shares their beliefs. Premarital sex is strictly prohibited. It's not uncommon for a religion to preach abstinence before marriage, but the Jehovah's Witnesses take this commandment a step further. Those who give in to their so-called fleshly desires are subjected to these humiliating organizational procedures called judicial committees, where they are asked uncomfortably specific questions about their sinful activity. So where do you find this spiritually buff bae? Well, forget Tinder or Bumble. Think of the Kingdom Halls as singles bars with a side of scripture study. You mingle, you witness, and you hope someone catches your eye. Without, actually catching eyes, because public displays of affection are a big no-no. And once you do find the one, chaperones become your new best friends. Group outings only, because unsupervised hanky-panky is a ticket to a one-way trip to Aldersville. This emphasis on spiritual compatibility transcends mere theological alignment. Individuals seeking to embark on courtship are encouraged to prioritize partners who demonstrate an active commitment to their faith, regularly attending meetings, engaging in preaching activities, and adhering to the organization's moral code. In effect, spiritual strength becomes a fundamental criterion for deeming someone worthy of consideration as a life partner, as seen in this video clip.
Maybe even send pictures, tell about themselves. What do you think about that?
That sounds like a good idea. I don't know much about them things, so
Not a problem. Liz and I are going to do it together. It'd be perfect for the two of us.
That sounds good. Liz, what do you think about that? Is that something you can do? Liz? Liz, where'd you go?
You weren't even listening to our conversation, huh?
I know, I'm sorry.
Is everything okay?
Actually, there's something I want to tell you. I'm not quite sure how to say it.
Okay, we're listening.
There's someone I'm interested in.
Interested in?
Someone I'd like to date.
You're only 17.
I'm turning 18 the next month.
That's not the point.
What is the point?
You know how your mom and I feel about you even thinking about dating so young.
Who are we talking about?
Zach.
Zach Tanner?
Dad, if this is about him not being baptized.
Whoa, yes, this is exactly about him not being baptized. And even if he was, you're both still too young.
We're not that young. We're graduating soon.
Liz, neither one of you is ready for marriage right now. Can you honestly see Zach as being your spiritual head?
It's just... I never thought I'd feel like this.
Lizzie, we understand.
We're not against you finding someone that's going to make you happy one day. We're not. But the problem is, darling, that when you start developing strong feelings for someone early on, it is so hard to see their potential flaws.
But I thought when you're married, you're supposed to overlook flaws.
That's true, but the time to keep your eyes open to potential spiritual problems is way before marriage, not afterwards.
I know. It's just when I see other girls with their boyfriends, I want that too.
Liz, we understand. But Zach hasn't even taken the first step towards baptism yet. Neither one of you are ready for dating. I'm sorry, but there's no way your mom and I can approve of this.
Could have been very uncomfortable before. That was funny.
Drive safely.
All right, get in safely. Oh, can I grab my jacket? I left it on the counter.
Yeah. Just be quiet. Here it is.
A little late, isn't it?
Dad, you scared me.
I'm sorry, Gavin. It's my fault. I just lost track of time.
Hey, Mom.
Ooh, how was it?
Oh, it was so much fun.
I should probably get going, though.
Oh, no, stay. I want to hear about tonight.
No, I should probably go.
Well, text me when you get home, okay? That reminds me, I want to show you something online.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the details, Meg.
Oh, thank you.
It's gonna look so beautiful on you.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Oh, you're such a beautiful couple.
I want to go show Dad.
Okay. Oh, I'm excited.
Hey, Dad, can you come inside? I want to show you something real quick.
Yeah, I'll be in a minute.
Okay.
Actually, Megan, come sit with me for a second.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
What is it you see in Zach?
He's so sweet. He's charming. He's funny.
What else do you love about him?
I don't know. He makes me happy.
But, Megan, why? What are those feelings based on?
Dad, you're starting to sound like Liz. Zach isn't bad.
I'm not saying Zach is bad. I give him a lot of credit. He was raised in a religiously divided household.
Exactly.
However, Zach's been studying for years.
You have to be patient. He's gonna get baptized, and then he's gonna start reaching out.
Are you basing that off of his actions or his promises?
No disrespect, Dad, but when it comes to reaching out, you're not exactly the stellar example either.
You're right. And maybe that's what's bothering me.
Don't you think you're overreacting? And besides, Dad, I don't want to be single for the rest of my life.
I'm not saying stay single forever. I'm saying give it some time. You get one shot to choose your marriage mate. The choice is yours, but so are the consequences.
I'm making the right choice. You just can't be happy for me.
Megan,
so the presence of the Son of Man will be. For as they were in those days before the flood, eating and drinking,
this is exactly
and
what I was talking
given
about.
in marriage,
This is supposed to be Zach's
Noah
talk.
entered into the ark.
I guess he had other
Took
plans
Noah until the
again.
flood came and swept them all away. So the presence of the Son of Man will be. Then two men
One of the most distinctive features of Jehovah's Witness courtship is the emphasis on chaperoned interactions. Do Jehovah's Witnesses have rules about dating? On jw.org, which we looked at previously, clearly discourages unsupervised activity, suggesting that two people who are romantically interested should be accompanied by a mature Christian when they spend time together. This practice stems from concerns about premarital intimacy, which is strictly forbidden and viewed as a grave transgression. The presence of chaperones serves as a physical and symbolic barrier, maintaining a safe distance and discouraging any physical affection. While this practice may be intended to protect young people from making impulsive decisions, it also raises questions about autonomy and trust. By constantly placing individuals under watchful eyes, is the organization fostering genuine connections or simply enforcing control over their emotional lives? The Jehovah's Witnesses' approach to courtship and marriage is not without its internal contradictions. Their dating and courtship tips readily acknowledges the importance of being attracted to each other physically, yet simultaneously advocates for prioritizing spiritual qualities above all else. This creates a potential tension where individuals might grapple with reconciling their natural physical attraction with the prescribed focus on spiritual compatibility. Furthermore, the strict regulations surrounding intimacy can be seen as conflicting with the organization's stated commitment to free will. While claiming to uphold individual choice, the stringent rules and social pressures surrounding premarital sex effectively limit the range of choices available to young adults. This raises questions about how much genuine agency individuals possess within the framework of courtship, and whether their decisions are truly autonomous or influenced by fear of social consequences. It is important to acknowledge that the Jehovah's Witness approach to courtship and marriage is not simply an isolated phenomenon. Their beliefs and practices are influenced by a broader cultural context that emphasizes traditional gender roles, sexual abstinence before marriage, and religious affiliation as a cornerstone of marital compatibility. While these values are not unique to the organization, their interpretation and application within this specific community take on a distinct form, with stricter regulations and a more pronounced emphasis on organizational control. Despite the rules, many Jehovah's Witnesses get married young, in their late teens and early 20s, still a very sexually driven life stage. This is because of the pressure from the Jehovah's Witness society and youngsters who do not want to get into trouble and mess up their good name in the congregation. The judgment is brutal from fellow witnesses. We know that dating is an important part of a relationship because it helps you get to know the person you are in a relationship with. It allows you to determine if you have a connection with someone and if you are compatible. It also helps you to communicate and understand each other's boundaries, expectations, and values. And if that person is not compatible with your values and goals, or there is no connection, it is normal to move on. Not so within Jehovah's Witnesses. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Until next time, bye for now.